We continue learning Kitzur Yomi as we're middle of the halachas of Chanukah here on Chanukah. We pick it up from Sif Yud Beis. Says the Kitzur the first night we might, before we light, we say Gimel Brachos. Number 1, Lahalik. Number 2, Shasa Nisim. Number 3, Shechiyanu. And therefore we'll need like 2 brachos. You light the first candle, which are, as note 49 points out from the Mishnah Berurah, different minhagim. But the Kitzur says that what? After you light the first one, you say nearest lolu as you're lighting the rest. But the Mishnah Berurah points out there are different minhagim. Ger omer shasin savseinu. Ger is allowed to say shasin savseinu b'mavar savseinu yatsa. Excuse me. A ger doesn't say shasin lavasenu because it's not his forefathers. Rather, what does he say? Shasin nisim Yisrael. But if he says shasin lavasenu, he's yatsa oinin rachman al-son. If yishachav another person, Hadlakah Oseh brachos, other person should light on his behalf. Huyana amevim like acher, then Hadlakah brachos, he lights without a bracha. Why? No, 53 points out, can't make a bracha because the mitzvah, we still want to do the Persumei Nisa aspect of it. Sif Yud Gimel says the Kitzur. Kaimalan, where did it go? Kaimalan Hadlakah Oseh Mitzvah, the lighting is the mitzvah. What does that mean? Very important, says the Kitzur. Pirush. Hadlakah mitzvah, lighting is the mitzvah. When you light that moment, you have to have enough, the candles be in the right place, in the right amount of fuel. If you light very low, then afterwards you put them in the right place. There's enough oil. Then you add on it's in a place the wind's going to blow it out. Because that all has to do with what is the matziv when you light. You have to light it again. The second time you don't make a bracha. Put them in the right place. When you did everything you had to do, and God, and whatever the reason is, they blew out kavar kayim mitzvah. It says the Kitzur, the minhag is, of course, that we do indeed relight them. Don't light one candle from the next, even though be'etzem it's going to be mutter. Note 60 points out after half hour, then you could light one from another, but you shouldn't do it for a non-Menorah purpose, meaning to light for the next ner, you could. Calls the man mitzvah. Says the Kitzur the entire time of the mitzvah. Hainu chatzisha. Aslan is already not allowed to get hano. And that's the reason why we put as a Shamash another candle that we light with the Kadesh Shamash. That's because if you're going to use any light next to Menorah, it's going to be Yishtamish or Shamash. You're using the light of the Shamash. So you want the Shamash to be on a different level. So it's clear the Shamash is not one of the Neris. Malikin Nirois Bebisakin Persumei Nisa Omevarchan Aleim, says the Kitzur. You make a bracha on the Nirois in Shul. Note 66 points out that it's not a problem, even if you made the brachas in Shul, you still make the brachas back home. The southern wall, you have to light again in the house. And note 69 points out that the person who said the Shechiyanu on the first night, says the Mishnah Berurah in Tafresh Ayin Aleph, that he says it at home only if there's someone else that also is going to be Yaitse. But note 69 points out from Ramesha that even if he's the only person there, he says the Shechiyanu is still at home. What about in the Fakarta case? Let's say he already lit at home and he's lighting in Shul. You say all 3 brachos. Misha Avlu Rachman Alitzla, and someone who's an Avlu Yalik Belayla Rishon B'Sikineset, Mishon Ditzarach Lam Shechiyanu, Avlu In Lam Shechiyanu B'Tzibur, Avlu Beisai Mavar Shechiyanu. Sifte Zayin, No Shechayv Ben Erechane, Kosh Avinu Yibaysa Neis. They were part of the mitzvah. Why are women part of the mitzvah? Shavin Neis, they were part of the miracle. V'Yacholi Isha Lahalik Ba'ad Kol B'nei Beis. A woman is allowed to light on behalf of her entire family. Now, note 72 points up in the Ber Halacha. This, of course, is not necessarily the spitz way to do it, that the woman lights the whole family, but in a matziv of need, she is allowed to. Because she is chinuch, Gam kin chayiv is also chayiv. Suma im yochel ishtativ emacher bepruta. He should combine with someone else. Mutav, it's better. Im isha, if a blind person has a wife. Huma he madlik is b'shvi loy. Im ein lo isha v'isha dir miyuchade she'in lo b'mid l'ishtativ malik al yidei siuacher. Someone helps him, and then he lights. So the Mishnah Berurah points out he does not say the brachos. Sif Yudzayin B'Erev Shabbos Melikin Tchil Ner Chanukah. First, you light Nera's Chanukah, V'achar Ner Shabbos. V'achil Achar Plag Mincha, after Plag Mincha, as we've learned. Misval Tchila Mincha, V'zach Shit in Shem K'dei She'aliko, Archatzi Yishal Achzitz Chom Hefer after Chom. V'im Loikein, have the Brach Levatel. V'im Elikitz Pesach. If you light by the doorway, so you have to be careful. Obviously, basic davar. Put something there, bein on the bein adelis. Why should I have the rope? If you go in a shul, the door is opening and closing. You have to be careful. It's not going to blow out your candles. B'motzai Shabbos, the other book in Mavdilin, you make Havdalah first, and then Racham Adlikin Ner Chanukah. Basically, Nes Adlikin Koydem V'yitin L'cha. You light before V'yitin L'cha, meaning at the end of davening before V'yitin L'cha, most light before Aleinu. And finally, Sif Yutaz Mishu Eina Bebeisai. Ella b'makam achir, someone else. If you dare shishtam alikas bebeisai, if he knows your wife is lighting for him, yaliku b'makam sheho b'lay brachais. V'toivim avshi shetchila achas habrachais mimi shemalik sham yishlay hear the bracha someone else. Yichal notzit b'brachas yane amen. And then yaliku b'lay brachas, he lights without brachas, because again it's a din of the bias. So his wife lights in his bias, and he just lights without the brachas. Let's say he doesn't have his wife doing that for him. Is by a host. They light with the brachas, or they're mishativ with their host. Shitin la'iza pruta. The bachar gives a penny, $1. Shila gamkein b'chilik m'shem b'sila. He buys in to the oils and the wicks. V'balabais yisik ksas shemen al shir b'shul hashotaf. Aval yishal nahadish adikalechu of ne'atzma. It's always better to light in your own. They should be iroi ela b'vais acher. If you're just in another house, it's always better, of course, to do the mitzvah in your own when possible. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.